our Unicorn Cup. Anna, stage is yours.
Thank you, Liana, and I'm really glad to be at Asia, discovering new AI startups. This is our last event of the season in Asia and Australia in particular. We will have grand finale, but a little bit later. Our all events all over the world are happening thanks to our sponsors. Our platinum sponsor, Network VC California Seed Fund, our golden sponsor, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, and our silver sponsor, Silicon Finance. The winner of today's preliminary Unicorn Battle will participate in the grand finale that will be happening on November 20th. Please mark the date in your calendar. Besides startups pitching live from all over the world, we will be having Startups Expo for prominent startups, exposing their great solutions and innovations for the audience we will be having during the grand finale from all over the world. This is the second season this year that we are doing our Unicorn Cup. And this season, we had looked into 125 countries of the world, discovering the best innovation solutions, inviting top speakers, wonderful VCs, famous people from all over the world that invest into the startups. Startups were performing in 4 industries: health tech, fintech, AI, and general. We believe in our company that all good ideas come true only when you like-minded people you have by your side that support you. And that's why we're always expanding and glad to see partners and sponsors that are helping us to make the dreams for the startups come true. Let me introduce you to our ecosystem. We are a smart ecosystem that consists of various software solutions and internet platforms that unite startups, investors, business angels, experts, professional scouts, and high-level managers in a single business space, which makes it possible to solve quickly and efficiently any task in the field of innovation and startups. Startup Network, it's a marketplace for startups, businesses, investors, that multiply every time. We have many more applications every single Unicorn Battle, which is also part of a smart family. It's one of the oldest part of the smart family. It's an open competition for startups, businesses, investors, and service providers. We have been doing battles all over the world, first offline and now online, which is good. You can stay at home and join us from wherever you are, but really, we really miss our old times when we were gathering together at the Silicon Valley for the grand finale where our headquarters is, but hopefully it will come again next year. We have been doing our battles for 11 years already, had done more than 220 of them. And we are doing really good matches in discovering great startups for all you guys and inviting really top VCs and business angels because our winners are doing a great job in fundraising. Silicon Finance or Sci-Fi, it's a special program designated for startups willing to apply to top American accelerators. We help them to relocate and grant them funds and services worth $50,000. We invite best speakers and mentors to coach the startups offline and online. Apply to become a better version of yourself. Network VC, California Seed Fund, is the most recent part of our smart family with 2 current strategies. First one, to participate as an investor in our pre-acceleration program. And second one, to be a lead investor in Silicon Valley Syndicate Fund. And I would like to invite my colleague, Julia, to tell you what a Silicon Valley Syndicate Club is about. Julia?
Thank you, Anna. Hi to everyone. My name is Julia Prisezhnuk. I am Investor Relations Director of Silicon Valley Syndicate Club. We give an opportunity for private investors and business angels to invest together with us into the best startups that we can find through our global ecosystem. It is an international club. We are officially registered in the USA. Closed club meetings are held online 2 times a month. Contact me directly if you would like to know more about the club. I will send my contact details to the chat. And good luck to everyone today. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Julia. And please meet our Slava, who will tell you about great opportunities in the field of investments. Slava? I have seen you. I know you're there. Slava?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I was muted. Hi all, my name is Slava Pedlisny. I'm a managing partner of Network Investments. And this is a global network of investment banks and investment professionals. We are helping to get a more global reach and find interesting investing opportunities out of the usual geographies our partners have. And for startups and businesses, it's an additional opportunity to get funding through investment banks, family offices, and PE funds as well. So for everyone who's interested, please contact me directly. I'll send my contacts in chat and wait for a good battle.
Thank you, Slava. And please meet Natalie, who will tell you about the great opportunities for the VCs we have. Natalie?
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Hello, glad to see you here today. And I like to introduce you to VC House. This is an invitation-only online community and a network created exclusively for VCs, where they can exchange deals which they participate in as active investors. And what is more, it will be also a platform for specialized offline and online LPGP events, where family offices and institutional investors have an opportunity to meet VC funds. If you have any questions or would like to join VC House, please don't hesitate to contact me directly, and my contact details will be in the chat. And now I'd like to return the floor to Kate and Lena, who are hosts for today's event, and they lead you through our unicorn battle. Kate?
Thank you, Natalie. Of course, I would like to mention our partners, our community partners who supported this event. And first of all, to Plug and Play China and FinTech from Georgia, Mosaic Venture Lab, to Brink Accelerator from Hong Kong, to Sunrise from Japan, to Magic from Malaysia, and also to our AI friends from AI Startup Incubator and AI Australia Incubator. So if you would like to join our events, please meet these friends. I'm sure that their activity will help our startups to win in this battle. And of course, I forgot mentioned the biggest partner is GSD Venture Studio, represented by Gary Fowler on our judge board. Thank you very much for your support, and I hope you will stay with us in the next season. So let's keep to agenda. How are we going to move on? Now each judge will say a few words about him or herself. Then we will listen a pitch session of the top 10 startups from Asia and Australia. And after the jury voting is done, we will find out who was able to catch the last train and will take part in the upcoming Unicorn Cup fall final. And at the end of the event, we will have a networking part where you can hear some VC insights from our judges and discuss some topics related to investments, to make investments during the pandemic. So please sit back, relax, and I hope that today's online trial will show you that our unicorn battles are worth your attention, and you become our regular guests offline in the next seasons. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, colleagues. So before we will start the pitch competition, please greet our honored judges who wanted their valuable time to our event today. Dear judges, please introduce yourselves and funds you represent shortly in 1 minute, pointing out the industry, check size, state, and geographical location of startups you invest in. Alexander, could we start from yourself, please?
Hello, Lena.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Our seed fund usually invest from 50 to 250K. We are industry agnostic and prefer to invest on seed or around A stage. Thank you, Lena.
Thank you so much. Welcome. So, who would like to be the next one, guys? Yes, please.
Yeah, I can go next. Hi,
Yes,
Aiden from Betatron over here. We're just going alphabetically, probably.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we're a venture capital firm investing into growth stage companies, typically post-seed, pre-A stage. We invest up to $500,000 based in the Asia Pacific. And as part of the Betatron Ventures Group, we have about $600 million assets under management with over 200 different startups. We invest into we're sector agnostic, but we like to see B2B companies solving in the enterprise software space. And looking forward to hearing your pitch. And good luck to everybody.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you again, and thank you for being with us today. So, who would like to be the next one?
Yes, my name is Mohammed Salman Anju. I'm the managing director of Vantage Technology Accelerator based in Dubai. So we accelerate the GovTech relevant projects, especially in the space of blockchain and AI. Looking forward for today's projects in terms of their uniqueness for the AI proposition. And good luck to all of the participants.
Thank you and welcome. Okay, next one, please.
Okay, I will be the next one. Hi, I'm Joanne. I'm from Netro. Our fund actually is based in Hong Kong, Guangzhou, and also Malaysia here. We look into investment in Asia, particularly Southeast Asia, China, and also Hong Kong. We like technology sectors, but we also look into non-tech sector as well. Our ticket size usually range from any amount up to $3 million US. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome. So, next one.
Hi, I can go next. Hi, guys. I'm Callum Burr, based out of Sydney, Australia. We primarily invest exclusively in AI, early stage companies in pre-seed, pre-MVP, or just in a very, very early stage, pre-revenue companies, primarily around sort of really early stage in that sweet spot, in that $250,000 type of a category, between a couple of 100,000 to 500. That seems to be the spot, but then we tend to be on average around 250. Anything around AI, we primarily invest in two main markets, the US and in Australia.
Thank you so much. Great to have you with us today. So, Dalal?
Yeah, can I go?
Or go ahead.
Ladies first.
All right, maybe I'll continue. Ladies first. So yeah, my name is Dalal Gawas. I'm from Big Idea Ventures. So Big Idea Ventures is a VC firm with a hybrid accelerator arm. We invest primarily in food technology companies post MVP stage, and we deploy around 200K of a cash investment. We invest globally, but we have offices in Singapore as well as New York. So very happy to be here, and all the best to all of the amazing startups.
Thank you and welcome. So, next one, please.
Well, since we're doing lady first, I think I'm going to be the next one. Hello, everyone. It's Rebecca from Plug and Play China. So we are an early stage investment company, and we also run a lot of accelerator program. Our headquarters in Silicon Valley, we have 30 global offices now. In Asia, we have offices in Japan, China, Singapore, also Thailand. We mainly invest in early stage startups from seed round, angel round to pre-A round, and we cover 16 verticals over the world. So from IoT, mobility, to healthcare, to brand and retail, basically all the industries. And looking forward to today's event. I'm very happy to meet everyone here remotely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great to have you with us today. So next one, please, guys.
Okay, hi guys. Okay, ladies first. Still the ladies.
Still the ladies, I'm afraid.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Yelena Lukyanenko, based here in Singapore. I work for Microsoft, part of the corporate business development team, and focusing on strategic partnerships, M&As in Asia, which includes Asia and Australia as well. Looking forward to hear interesting products, solutions around AI, and happy to connect on LinkedIn after that.
Great. Thank you, Elena. Welcome. Next one, please.
Yeah, my name's Gary Fowler, and I'm a serial entrepreneur and an investor. So I've done 16 companies and 2 unicorns. In fact, those from Russia and Ukraine. David Yang from Abby is my partner on EVA, one of the top AI HR tech companies. I'm the CEO and president of GSD, Get Shit Done Venture Studios. And we curate the company, not only invest, but we curate, bringing some of the best talent in the world into those companies. And there's one thing to say that you're building a unicorn, another thing to say you've already built them. So that's where we are, and we look forward to it. My background is AI. I've written almost 90 articles in the last year now on artificial intelligence, and I have got 3 shows AI-oriented out of Silicon Valley. We use Silicon Valley as a port to the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Next one, please.
Okay, hi guys.
Hi.
Go ahead, Zed.
I'm Zed from Malaysia. I'm the CEO of True Capital. We are doing receivable finance in Malaysia, mostly supply chain finance. On this part, my exposure is more in terms of developing, and because we have close to 5,000 clients in Malaysia. Some are startups, but mostly doing B2B. So I'm happy to be here and hope to have a good show. Anyone there that want to have some information or want to talk about Malaysian market, please feel free to connect with me. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
I'll go next. Hello, everybody. My name is Eugene. I represent VU Venture Partners. We are a stage agnostic, sector agnostic fund. We've got an office in San Francisco, New York, Singapore, where I'm based, as well as in Hong Kong. We look at all sorts of companies, and we write checks ranging from 200 to 300,000 with follow-ons up to as big as $3 to $5 million checks as well. At the same time as well, I also head up strategy for a local Singaporean-based AI company called Tiger, and I run the strategy division for them. And look forward to a great show today, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Next one, please.
Can I go next?
Yes, please, Julian.
Yeah. Hi, this is Suri from Idea Spring Capital. We are based in Bangalore, India. We invest in early stage B2B product innovation startups. We have invested in about 15 startups since last 4.5 years. So we invest anywhere between 500K to 1 million, work with the startups, and then co-invest another 750K when the company comes to pre-Series A or Series A stage. And we are sector agnostic. Thank you for inviting me here, and happy to connect with all the people over here. I'll put in my LinkedIn.
Welcome. Great to have you with us today. And next one, please, guys.
I can go next. This is Brother Patra here. I am based out of Bangalore, India, a venture partner with our ventures that invests up to $10 million in early stage startups, specializing and exploring in deep tech, enterprise SaaS, fintech, and others. I bring both business operations with P&L as well as investment management experience with a strong background in consulting, new business development, and products across 12 plus markets. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Would like to be the next one, please?
I'll maybe go next, guys.
Yes, please.
Hi, everybody. This is Angelo Butgarello from AI Startup Incubator. We are an incubator and accelerator based in Prague, Czech Republic. First of all, thanks for having us here, and thank you all for the great audience. We focus on AI startups that deploy the artificial intelligence technology in the core part of the business area, or also deploying the artificial intelligence being auxiliary for the business. We are industry agnostic, but we have also a focus on two specific industries, which are retail and healthcare. And yeah, I'm happy to see which great deals we can see today. Great projects and great teams. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and welcome.
I may continue.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Kıvılcım Çaylı from Casey, from Turkey, representing Pareto Ventures. We invest in early stage startups who creates or uses high technology. So thank you for having me today, and good luck to everyone.
Thank you. Welcome. Next one, please.
Hi, my name is Henrik from Untitled Ventures. We're focusing on retail technology, and they're strongly on AI. We have offices in Singapore and Shanghai, and bringing predominantly Israeli startups and European startups to Asia, and looking forward to a good competition.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Next one, please, guys.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nir Chor. I'm the CEO of Bangladesh Angels. So we are an angel network, the first one in Bangladesh. I guess our thesis is looking for companies that either are based out of Bangladesh, working on Bangladesh, are either run by Bangladeshis around the world, or could come to Bangladesh. We look for pre-seed investments of 150 to 250K, but that's kind of the main one. But we also work with kind of angel networks around the world, and including in the APAC. And I also sit with a couple of organizations such as Impact Collective and Paper Impact Capital that are looking for impact ventures at a similar stage as well around APAC. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay. Next.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, it's Volker here. Thanks for having me. I'm calling from Taiwan, representing Mosaic Venture Lab. We're backed by Audi, focusing on the transportation industry, working with global startups, Taiwanese startups who like to get things manufactured, and mainly on POCs. Secondly, I'm venture partner at TPTF. That's the Trans-Pacific Technology Fund, $100 million Series A fund. We are looking at deep tech startups that must be already revenue generating globally.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Next one, please, guys. Yes, please.
Maybe I can go next. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Salud. I'm the general partner of R3I Ventures. We're a deep tech, med tech, cross-border venture capital firm between Singapore, Luxembourg, and Silicon Valley. We are only coming if we're building, and we're only coming if we're leading. And my team are a network and a venture capital partner of TBLI Group, which is an impact investment ecosystem across the world, and are a network and venture capital partner of PFAN, working on climate resilient technologies. So if you want to make a difference, do reach out to us. It's Lisa at r3iventures.com. Looking forward to seeing everyone compete today. Good luck.
Thank you, Lisa. Great to have you with us. Okay, next one, please, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
I go now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello, my name is Sergey. I'm a managing partner of Morphosis Capital Partners. We have offices in Singapore, Bangkok, and Hong Kong. And we are focused on early stage investments with follow-ups up to Series A. We have direct access to several family offices, old family offices in Southeast Asia that have rich heritage and rich ancestry. So we also invest in digital-only startups. So happy to be here, and let's look what you have, what the competitors are gonna give us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Hisham.
Hi. Yeah. So my name is Hisham Zwe, and I'm CEO of Fasta Capital. We are an online incubator based out of UAE. We operate globally. We have several programs. The oldest one is the technical co-founder, where we invest 50% of the money that the startup needs and become the technical co-founder, building the whole product. We have already 20 startups that are graduated. We have 2 successful exits. We have helped more than 400 startups in total. We are stage agnostic, country agnostic, and industry agnostics. We invest usually in
in startups that are between pre-seed funding up to Series A. Our ticket size is between 50K to 2 million. I'm also an angel investor. I'm one of the top 50 angel investors according to Forbes. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you again, Anna and Marina, for the invitation as always. Please check our website, and I'm happy to connect with everybody on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Next one, please.
I go. So hey, my name is Peter Hlinka. First time I'm joining from Singapore. Last time was from Toronto. I'm from Artria Ventures. As Lisa already introduced us, so I'll be short. I'm just venture partner at Artria Ventures. I'm the soldier, she's the queen, and she already made the intro, so I'll keep it short.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Welcome. Would like to be the next one?
I guess I can go next.
Yes, please.
So yeah, I'm Jaelun. You can call me Jay. And I think Rebecca already introduced Plug and Play. So I'm based in Singapore, and I am leading the ventures team across Southeast Asia. So covering countries like Thailand, Jakarta, Indonesia, Manila as well. And so basically what the ventures team does is we handle all the sourcing, connecting with our corporate partners, connecting startups with our corporate partners, and the investment side of Plug and Play as well. In the investment side, essentially, we are early stage investors. We typically follow, we don't lead, so we're very friendly, and we invest. Our ideal ticket size is 100 to 200,000 US dollars. We can go across all sectors, all verticals, as well as in terms of stage, we are more investing in the seed to maximum, I guess, Series A stage. So happy to be here. Thanks for inviting and looking forward.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you. Next one, please. Yes, please, guys. Who would like to be the next one? Okay. Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, you're audible. You can go.
Yeah, it's okay. So let's continue. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for introductions. And before we will start the hottest part of our event today, let me explain you a little bit about voting system today. So dear judges, to start voting, you have just click the link you have got on mail, and you will be redirected to the event page. After this, you have to scroll the page to the startup section, and you will see the logos and marks for our startups today. So you have to put marks depending on investment potential from 1 to 5, where 5 is the highest mark and 1 is the lowest. You have just to put marks without any confirmation, and you could change marks before the voting will be closed. If you have any questions and if you will have any problem, please let us know in chat. Julia can support to you. So next information is it's for our attendees today. So the attendees, this information for you, and you have a great opportunity to support our startups today too. So for it, you can register at event page, and you can give your likes to your favorite startups. They need your support too much. And about our participants today. So today we have 10 startups. Each founder will have 3 minutes for the pitching and 4 minutes for the Q&A session. We recommended not to mention any fundraising outload because we are broadcasting all over the world, and some countries have restrictions in this regard. So please use chat or other channels of communication for this particular reason. Thank you. Based on the result of judges for online voting, one startup will be chosen as the winner of AI Unicorn Battle Asia. So welcome again, and let's start. That's all from my side for today.
Thank you, Lena. The first one will be Poseidon AI from Singapore. Amash, are you ready?
Hello. Yes, I'm ready. Should I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that you are in Costa Rica now, yes? So it's
Yes,
night.
I'm in Costa Rica, and it's actually now is around 4 a.m. and my sleeping habit is very bad. So I'm so sorry if I sound little
I wish you good luck.
sleepy.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for coming at night.
Can everyone see my page?
Yes.
Let me make it. Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, you can start.
Poseidon AI works with fish, and its biggest competitor is Google. We call ourselves the Netflix of agritech. With growing population, one of the primary concern is how to feed everyone. And one of the primary sources of proteins come from the water around the world. Nearly 47% of what we consume is being farmed. This gives the value of 250 billion US dollar. And in order to outpace the population growth, we always need to keep 11% growth rate. 90% of this is being farmed in Southeast Asia and China. But because the species are in captive environment, the only way to provide sufficient nutrition is to feed them. Currently, the aquafeed market is 124 billion US dollar, and soon it's going to reach to 250 billion US dollar. This is because there are three main elements in every aquafeed: fish meal, fish oil, and crop. Two of them come directly from the oceans and water around the world. But because the stocks are depleted, the price will keep on increasing and the demand as well. Take a look at one of our customers in Vietnam. They spend 80% on aquafeed. That is equivalent of 8 million US dollar. But despite this high value, due to multiple factors, there are huge wastage. There are no water treatment facilities nearby, and it's very labor driven. That's why me and my team got together to tackle this big problem. I worked for many years in the aquaculture sector, and my team are experts in AI, machine learning, and mechanical and mechatronics. Together, we made an affordable hardware and an intelligence software to save farmers 20% on their aquafeed costs. Since the species are cold-blooded animals, our devices need to analyze the environment that every species is living in. Then the device automatically pump up the information to our cloud. In our cloud, we have our algorithms that I developed and give this information together. The farmers can see the amount of feeding, the growth rate, and maturity time, and the time that they can take the species to the market. But because we are not everywhere in the farms, we also have cameras. We run image processing 1 hour before, 1 hour during, and 1 hour after feeding to tell to the farmers exact amount of feeding, and also calibrate our algorithms for every species in different region and under different environmental conditions. We call ourselves the Netflix of agritech because of our unique business model. We have one-time onboarding fee that is 1,000 US dollar, but we have a subscription fee that is a proportion of the savings that we do on the aqua feed for every farm and for every species. Here you can see an example for a catfish that we run in Vietnam. With this, we had a huge traction. We currently have 50K revenue, and we got customers pre-ordering our devices and our services in 8 different countries. And we also have UN joining us and pre-ordering our devices. We have currently access to 1,000 pounds. That's why we are asking investors to help us to expand and train our algorithms for 6 species around Southeast Asia and China. We are Poseidon AI, and if you are interested in world sustainability and willing to go toe-to-toe with big names such as Google, please join us. Thank you.
Thank you. It seems that I a little bit confused. Our judges mentioned that you are in Costa Rica and the startup is from Singapore. Could you clarify this?
Yes. So we around let's say February, I came to Vienna because I used to live in Vienna, and I needed to go on a mission to Ghana because UN pre-ordered our devices. So I needed to go there, but the COVID hit us. So I decided to come and go to Chile for our other customers, but I got stuck in middle of the way in Costa Rica. And my wife is also Costa Rican, so I stayed here. And I cannot go back to Singapore. They don't allow me to come back.
Oh.
That's okay. So thank you so much. Let's start our Q&A session, dear judges.
Hi, this is Subrata here. I just wanted to know, how does your device work actually? Does it have a lot of sensors? And how big is it in terms of size, and where are you manufacturing?
I go from last question. So we got funding from HAX and EF. So our headquarters actually is in Singapore, and our hardware part is in Shenzhen, China. So we make our devices there currently with our engineers living in Shenzhen, China. The device holds up to 6 sensors. These sensors are pH, air, water, temperature, ORP, dissolved oxygen, conductivity, and nitrate. The farmers, depending on how many sensors they want, they can ask us, and we put it for them. The device is unique because it does not need any installation. We just send it to the farmers, and they put it in their ponds. Usually it can support 20 by 20 meter ponds, but in Southeast Asia and China, the ponds are much bigger. So instead of increasing the size of the device, we try to put more pressure on image processing and machine learning that we have in our devices.
Got it. Thank you.
Questions else, guys?
Yeah, I want to ask 2 combined questions.
Yes.
One is this: how will you scale your business? Because it seems so distributed over the world. Funds are so distributed. And the connected question is, what's your exit strategy after scaling the business?
Very good question. So the business is like this. We do actually the subscription fee. Subscription fee comes from the saving for every species, but we currently training our algorithms. Once the algorithms are trained, the farmers can choose the species that they are doing, and automatically the subscription fee will come to our account. This is like having a Netflix. The other part is the exit strategy. Currently, we have many tractions actually from Mitsubishi Corporation to all the feeding companies that they want to tell us, or we tell them how good is their feed and what is the conversion rate. So at the end of the day, we can have a sustainable solution that any of these companies can have, and they can combine it with their own technology as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions else?
Hello, this is Eugene. I've got a quick question for you. How do you measure the ROI for your customers?
Well, currently we run 25 pilots. So currently what we do is we just test and fail till we reach to that amount that we really feel like it's okay for both of us. But I have to add that our customers are medium large size farms, meaning that they have 50 to 150 ponds themselves. And in most of these areas that I discussed, they are very technical about what they are producing. So once we manage to find out, for example, in Vietnam, how much we are saving, or we are going to save for catfish, then for all these ponds and farmers in that area, we will have this same amount, and we will have the same amount of saving. And assuming that the condition won't change so much, unless something really bad happen in that area, the saving will be around that range that we are hoping for.
I have a question, Calumber from AI Ventures. Question I have is around, how are you protecting intellectual property? Do you have patents for these types of things? And how easy or hard it is to replicate what you do?
We don't have the patent currently because we are trying to train our algorithms. The patent will be on every species and on the algorithm for every species that we are having. So currently we are hoping that in the next 18 months, we will have 6 patents on every of these species. The other thing is the hardware part. The hardware part is the uniqueness of the hardware is survival of the hardware in the field, in the harsh environment. And based on that, we are going to put only on a partial part, on some part of the hardware, the patent soon.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Let's continue in chat. And
thank you very much, Amash. And the next one is Mind AI from the Republic of Korea.
Hi, guys. Hello, it's Paul here.
Hi, good luck.
Hello, hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us. So we want to share the quick 3-minute slide. Could you please confirm whether you can actually see this, please?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So today we're going to be introducing Mind AI. Mind AI is an internationally patented VC-backed startup in South Korea. So we are lucky enough that we've been awarded the grand prize for artificial intelligence here in Korea, supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology, as well as the Ministry of SMEs and Venture. So we've been recognized by the Korean government as a leader in artificial intelligence here in Korea. So what we're focusing on is what we think is the CPU of the AI landscape. So we literally focus on the intelligence. So a quick slide. So what is intelligence? I mean, if you look at the dictionary terms, it's basically the ability to reason, the ability to learn, the ability to understand and think in a logical way. So what we've done is we figured out what reasoning processes consist of. It's basically abductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, as well as deductive reasoning. So we had to put all these 3 things into an algorithm that made sense. So like a human being reasons, a machine has to be able to do all these 3 reasoning processes in concert. Not just 1, not just 2, but all 3. So 13 years of R&D and a lot of sweat and tears basically have given us this canonical model, this very simple triangular structure that has primary going to the resultant with context. Now, as everyone knows, natural language is the most unstructured data in the world, okay? We provide that unstructured data into a structured architecture, what we call the canonical form, so that abduction, deduction, and induction happens naturally, just like a human being thinks. So our business model is very, very simple. We provide a conversational AI infrastructure for businesses and developers around the world in the troubleshooting arena to start with. Our type of business is business to business or business to developers. The method of our pay is by transaction, our API call. The pricing currently is $0.0004 US. Now, this is very competitive to the Google Dialogflow and all the chatbot systems out there. Now, Mind AI has been lucky enough to get commercial partnership with True Mobile. They have 38 million subscribers on their mobile carrier. They are a CP group company, a massive Asian conglomerate. They basically take about 40% of the GDP of Thailand. And we are lucky enough to work with also an education group called ST Unitas that has acquired Princeton Review, an exam organization. Okay, so we're working with all these companies in building our troubleshooting chatbot, as well as an education AI tutor. So our actual product is called Mind Expression. And I wish we had more time to show you the demo, but maybe some other time. These are the awards that we've won. The Brand Award in 2020, Most Innovative Company of Korea in 2019, as well as 2020. And as I said before, 2019 was the grand prize for artificial intelligence. We were the main winner. So why Mind AI? First of all, it's patented, new symbolic paradigm. It's natural language reasoning, not processing. There's total transparency of operation so that it can be trusted. We can go back and surgically remove what's wrong. We know exactly what's going on. There's no black box. It's human understandable logic because it's qualitative data, okay? It's language agnostic. So we're starting off with English. Obviously, because of True, we're doing it in Thai as well. We're going to do it in Korean. We're going to do it in Chinese. It's domain agnostic. As you saw, our commercial partners are in very different categories. One is in telecommunications, the other one is in motor, the other one is in chemical, the other one is in education. It's scalable, and we're going to be generating revenue cash cow from 2021. So investment summary in a nutshell, we're in seed round, pre-valuation of 30 million. So far, we've attained $4.3 million US. Our currently monthly burn is around 100K. Current investors include CP Group, Inlight Ventures, Red Capital, Villa Market, Bertrand Chemical, etc. Potential raise to close our seed round is around $2 million US thus far. So we're already talking with Vickers Ventures. We're already talking with Cento Ventures. We're already talking to a couple of others as well. So 1 year vision statement.
Well, thank you. Time is over. Let's switch to Q&A.
So maybe I can kick in with the first question. Oh, Volker, sorry.
No, you go, Angel.
Okay, no worries. No, I'm interested to understand what are the goals or that you need to achieve with this round that you were talking about of $2 million.
Oh, that's a very good point, and that's exactly the slide that I was going to show. So basically, we need to finish off a commercial product with True, and that's where the money's going to go. And we want to also prepare for a Series A. Once the commercial product is out, we're going to start raising Series A. We're already in talks with Samsung Electronics, as well as LG and Asiana. So that seed money, around 1.6 to $2 million US, that will last us to finish our Series A at the same time, as well as complete our commercial product.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, please.
Yeah, hi, it's Volker here from Mosaic. My question would be, what is the actual product? You're language agnostic, which is great, but what are you doing for Daimler? You're pre-revenue, but you have a lot of companies listed. And then I personally think your valuation at 30 million for a company that doesn't generate revenues in the days of COVID is going to be hard to attain unless you have products out in the market, and then you would have revenues, I assume.
Right. So the valuation obviously is something that we've decided, well, it doesn't matter about COVID or no COVID, to be honest with you. Whether the valuation of the company makes sense is market value. That's the main thing. And if you compare our valuation with any other AI companies that has a patented technology that is different, then you'll see we're actually cheaper than most. So that's the first thing. The second thing is,
but you're not proven, you're not out in the market yet.
No, that's correct. But the thing is, after rigorous POCs that we've done with True Mobile, for example, our validation is done because we've signed the commercial partnership agreement. And that's very, very important because they're going to be using our technology for their 38 million consumers that they already have on their mobile carrier. So what we're building is a troubleshooting conversational AI chatbot. And the reason we're going to businesses is very, very interesting because, first of all, the developers or AI teams in those conglomerates need to be able to be efficient. They need to save time and they need to save cost. Okay. So in order to do, for example, 8 intents, an AI team as well as their dev team at True Mobile, it took them 6 months. With our technology, it took them 3 days. So that's the difference between the current chatbot models that use neural networks or hard coding compared to what we can do with our canonical model. And that's a very big difference that we can make. And our long-term goal is not just a troubleshooting conversational AI infrastructure at all. Our goal is artificial general intelligence. That's why we're saying we can go into multiple domains at the same time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We invested in Kata AI, by the way, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, which is an AI-driven chatbot. Kata AI. And we invested in Kata AI in Indonesia. It's an AI-driven chatbot, just on the side note.
Can you spend a minute talk about yourself, your track records in building business?
Sure. So my name is Paul Lee. I was brought up in England, graduated from St. Paul's as well as Oxford University in biochemistry. I'm a certified medical doctor here in Korea as well. I started my first business in the .com days, and I sold my first company in 2001. Started my second company in 2006. This Mind AI is a third company that I've co-founded with Joshua Hong, my co-founder. His background obviously is in the gaming industry, and he's a very well-known YPOer. as well as 40 under 40. I've been recognized as 30 under 30 here in Korea as well. So this isn't our first gig. This is something that we have been thinking for a long time, and we've actually worked with IBM Watson before and realized that it was a very fast calculator, but not much of an artificial intelligence with intelligence. So we do have a very deep understanding of the AI industry. We actually are very motivated to change the status quo, and we believe we have an engine that makes sense, that can transform not just one industry, but multiple industries at the same time.
Do you have an IPO market that you target when you're ready?
We do want to do an IPO. Well, we're based in South Korea right now, but we're also talking to K-Startup Singapore in Singapore. We also have a marketing office in the US. So we're definitely thinking of IPO. I think, even before the IPO, we need to see our exit strategy as we go along. But, we're pretty sure that we're not going to sell early.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, judges, for your questions, but we need to keep schedule and need to move on. Thank you, Paul, again. You can continue your conversations in chats. So the third one is Social Ltd from Bangladesh. Tanvir?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, everyone. How's everything going on? I'm Tanvir Shourav. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Social Limited. So shall I start with the presentation slide?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so let me just share my screen real quick so that you can see. Yeah. So we are Social and we help making businesses converse. So many times, like when we look into like the scenario of countries like Bangladesh and other nearby countries and African region as well, people are uneducated. They don't have like that much access to internet or smartphone. And like normally it's like typing is very difficult for them. Like if you go and tell them to type in English language, this thing is very difficult for them. And in many times what they want to say, those things are not understood by the existing engines that are available. So why is Converse? The Converse is good because like even if you are literate or not, you can always talk in your native language. It's easier to navigate for the elderlies. It takes very less amount of time. And for industry-specific use cases, previously it was not possible, but now it's possible to achieve 99% accuracy. And with the power of NLP and NLU technologies involved. So we are Social Limited. We are a natural language processing company. We empower different individuals and business organizations to lead their operations with customized conversational AI. So like as well as we help them to develop the whole system so that they can live at ease and do their work properly. So this is like our company's mission, vision, and values. We want to be the best NLP and conversational AI company in the whole world. And we want to help businesses lead their operations and people lead their operation at ease by conversation. So these are actually some of the like regulations or services that we have provided in different countries so far. So we worked with 4 different countries, aside from Bangladesh, Myanmar, Japan, Indonesia, and China. So these 4 countries. This is our current revenue that we have been working. So from 2019, we have been on full break even, and from Q3 2020, we have actually started being cash flow positive. So these are the contracts that we have so far, and we wish to achieve 150K in 2020. So some of our happy customers that we serve. So, and the business model is actually very efficient. So whenever like an user, we provide like speech to text and text to speech, our own models, hybrid solutions. Then we analyze the text that is generated. Then our custom AI, we create even higher accuracy because we train the model so that the model itself serves the user's needs. So that it's a customized solution for the users. And finally, like the TTS or text to speech talks to the user so that the whole journey becomes easy. So this is like a use case for like Uber use case. Uber will ask where you want to go. You will say like I want to go to Mirpur 12 bus stand or any place name, and Uber will confirm like if you want to go there. User will say yes, and the journey will start. Similarly, like for sending money, we can like say I want to send $100 to X, and the app may ask, do you want to confirm? User can say yes, and after that he said that 3 words catchphrase, and with his voice fingerprint and catchphrase is matched, and the data or the money is sent. So these are actually like some of the use cases that we have already worked on, and this is like where we stand right now in competitor landscape, and we are moving forward. This is how our market size and average basket size is right now. So like for B2B service-based solutions, we charge around $25K, and for API service, we charge around 2.5K for the services. This is some of our investors, partners, data asset. Yeah, I'll just go and finalize. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, who would like to ask?
Okay, my question would be, I've noticed that you've saying that your competitors are basically Alibaba, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all these multi-billion-dollar companies that invested a lot of money in the technologies. What makes you sure that you can compete with their technologies, even with all the investments coming in?
Yeah, sure. So very nice question. The solutions that we provide to the business organization, because I'll give one example. We worked with one of the Chinese government projects with our partner in China, where we had to like work on the aviation industry. In that project, even Alibaba, those big players were there. But what we did for that use case, we created a solution which is particularly customized for the industry. So like, let's say it's aviation industry. So the whole solution was customized with the language model and data, the whole conversational engine, even the speech to text audio we collected and served the transcription for them. So that's why we were able to get like a very good accuracy on there. Even where like if you go to Google or Microsoft big players, they will not give you a customized solution that is totally curated for your business. So if you want to work into a particular industry, your accuracy and experience gets a lot better for the users.
Okay, thank you so much. Any questions else?
Okay, then the other question would be that what's the accuracy rate?
So for any industry-specific use case, for speech to text or ASR, our accuracy is around 99%. We worked in financial sectors because financial data is very crucial. So ensuring accuracy is very necessity in that case. So as a result, we were able to pinpoint the accuracy to WER to 1%, so that like the whole user experience was a lot better. So while working in Myanmar and other countries, we did the similar things for those industry, and also in Japan, we had one pilot with TEPCO. So yeah, these are the things that we did.
Okay, thank you so much. Any questions else? Okay, so let's continue, Kate.
Thank you. The next one is Antelico from Australia.
Hello, I'll just share my screen. Give me a minute.
Yes.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sure. You can start.
All right. Yes, okay, fine. Hello, I'm Hitesh. I'm the founder CEO of Intelico. Our company is all about specializing to advance human health using advances in artificial intelligence. My co-founder, Johan, is a cardiologist. He's the director of Royal Adelaide Hospital, and he's also the director of the Australian Institute of Machine Learning. I myself have over 25 years of leading strategy and operations in multinational companies such as Abbott and 3M. Because the commercialization in medtech tends to be a little hard, I've also put together an experienced advisory board to help us with end-to-end commercialization. We are excited to solve a big and hard problem. It's called dyspnea, which is the medical term for shortness of breath. This is quite common. It's seen in about 30% of all the patients who present to hospital emergency departments. That's 280 million patients worldwide. It's generally caused by an underlying heart or lung condition and has got very high mortality rates. Therefore, the rapid detection and early start of treatment is life-saving. There are three major customer problems that are seen in the diagnosis of dyspnea today. The first one is that the current processes take very long, from few hours to few days. The second one is that the existing analysis with the existing equipment is subjective, and it helps people to get peaks but not patterns, which is critical. And the third one is the high cost of dyspnea care in hospital setups, which is as much as $7,000 per patient. So what we're doing is using AI, spectroscopy, and photonics to analyze the exhaled breath by humans to create disease detection platforms for fast and accurate diagnosis. Our product is a portable, non-invasive device for the diagnosis of dyspnea, and it does this by analyzing human breath. We have filed a patent for this. The unique value is that we are able to provide accurate diagnosis in seconds, and because most of this is happening out of the hospital, it also saves hospital payers as much as 37% of the cost. The market size globally for the diagnosis of dyspnea is $6.8 billion. We are looking at an addressable market size of $1.4 billion. The target customers are cardiologists and emergency physicians, GPs, ambulance services, as well as the hospital payers. The major competitors are Siemens, GE Healthcare, and Beckman Coulter, and the key competitive advantage we have is that we are able to provide higher speed, convenience, and cost of care, along with accuracy. As a result, we are gaining solid traction. We've got customer validation. We have market data for 12 countries. We have proven the science. The beta stage has been clinically tested. We are at a technology readiness level of 5. 18 hospitals across 6 countries have expressed a desire to do clinical trials with us, and 3 pharmaceutical companies have also expressed a desire to work with us. Our revenue model is one of a perpetual license, where we look at $15,000 per unit upfront and about $2,500 per year for ongoing maintenance. The unit cost is approximately $3,100. Therefore, our financials are looking quite promising. The EBITDA is about 81%. The volume growth rate is also very healthy. And the best part is that this platform in the future can also be used to detect other diseases. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Great pitch. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you please tell me something more about the product? What exactly do you measure there? And
so what we do is we analyze human breath using advances in photonics and spectroscopy at the molecular level to detect diseases. In this case, we've got the first approval for a disease called dyspnea, which is the medical term for shortness of breath.
Yeah, understood.
Again, the underlying causes, which could be a complexity in the lung or a heart condition.
Okay. So basically they breathe into the device and then you measure that?
Yes. So think of it like an iPhone where you breathe into.
Understood.
Like a breathalyzer, as opposed to the current processes, which could be like a CT scan for pulmonary embolism or a blood biomarker examination, where the patient has to go to a hospital. This can be done outside the hospital as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's a completely non-invasive device.
Yeah. So it'll be easier to get the certification, I guess.
Yes. We are working on the regulatory approvals starting Europe, followed by the US and then Australia.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions else?
Yeah, can you speak a little bit about your sales process? Because like the last startup, you're actually competing with well-known established companies. And yes, I understand you're a little bit faster and a little bit less expensive, but given this is a medical product, how long does the sale take? And what are your revenues right now?
So we're still in the product development stage. We are at a point where we're just getting into clinical trials and health economic studies across 9 countries. And then we start getting regulatory approvals and price reimbursements. In terms of the sales process, we're doing a couple of things. One is we're going to be using health economists to help us with outcome studies and health economic data for price reimbursements. The 18 hospitals, and we are likely to get to more than 50 across the targeted countries, will also act as referral sites for other sales hospitals. We are using a direct sales team for influencing key opinion leaders, along with in the sales team is also an education team. And finally, we are using elements of digital marketing and trade shows for brand awareness, lead generation, and so on. So that's the approach we're taking for spreading awareness, advocacy, and sales. In terms of the sales cycle itself, depending on the country, it could be anywhere between 6 months on the maximum side and about 3 months on the lower side. So 3 to 6 months, sorry. That's the time we're looking at. This is after we get the regulatory and the
so the hospitals that you're engaging. Thank you for the answer. One follow-up question. The hospitals that you have engaged with so far, are they actually working with the incumbents like the Siemens or GE, or are these hospitals that don't offer these solutions?
No, they are. That's exactly what they're doing. They're using companies like Beckman Coulter, Siemens, and GE. And the whole reason we do health economic and outcome studies is actually to compare our product versus the competition. That's the only way we can apply for a price reimbursement. So, along with that, so if you need clinical trials for regulatory approvals, and we need health economic and outcome studies where basically you're comparing the cost and the value and what's called as a quality adjusted life years of your product versus the existing competition. And that also goes for like about 1 or 2 years across the 9 countries. And that becomes a basis for price reimbursement with government reimbursement agencies or the private health insurance agencies. Without that, you can't, sell in the developed countries. So both things are equally important.
Great. Your financial shows that you are burning money for the next 4 years, and then POP will be 81% EBITDA margin. How does that work? Your financial shows that you'll be burning money for the next 4 years, and then you're talking about an EBITDA margin of 81% 5 years from now.
Yes. Yes, and that's largely because the time taken for clinical trials and health economic studies, it normally takes 6 to 9 years. We are using advances in technology with Amazon Web Services and so on to actually compress that time down to about 3 years. So the time that is taken up, our product is almost ready to get to the clinical trials. It's more the time taken for clinical trials and health economic studies. And then, the regulatory approval takes another 6 to 8 months. So that's what is taking that time. And that's where the money is taken up, But then the returns could be quite exponential.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's continue in chat. So these judges, please don't forget to vote for startups today. It's very important, and it will help us to determine the best AI startup in Asia today. So please don't forget. If you have any questions, please contact us in chat.
Thank you, Lena. The next one is DRVR from Thailand. David. Tell us something.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Let me just bring up my presentation. Okay. Okay. Apologies for that. Okay. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to access this on a iPad device, and it looks like it's not coming up. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Okay, did that come up? No.
No, we don't.
Somebody had to have some technical issues to start with, and it's got to be me, eh?
Okay, we can skip you for now, and oh, I see. It's okay now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Switch to the pitch deck.
Switch to. Okay, we good?
Yeah, full screen, and let's start.
Okay, apologies for that. Sawadee Krap. I'm David, CEO and co-founder of Driver. We're a next-generation telematics startup based in Thailand. So one of the key issues facing businesses across not just Southeast Asia, but across the world in general, is fuel theft. So if you're a logistics or transportation companies, fuel is your second highest cost. Research carried out by the Mekong Institute found that around 30% of all fuel that is purchased for commercial vehicles in Southeast Asia is siphoned off or stolen. I'm here today to talk to you about an awesome solution that we've developed with sponsorship from Microsoft that helps us solve this problem using AI. Now, as I said, we're working closely with Microsoft, and we have a launch customer called NinjaVan, which is one of the largest last mile logistics companies in Southeast Asia. So we're helping them reduce the amount of money they spend on fuel. So these are some of the key issues that they're looking at. So traditional solutions for this problem essentially include fitting expensive devices to vehicles. And these solutions don't really work in the modern sort of gig economy. If I'm bringing my own car or my own motorcycle, giving me a device where I'm working for NinjaVan, Lala Move, or whoever else is perhaps not the ideal solution. So, and every month NinjaVan has almost 43,000 different drivers across Southeast Asia and the region. There are millions of drivers who are working in the gig economy. And the cost of rolling out a device-driven service would be extremely high. So we found this out ourselves after piloting with NinjaVan for 3 months. We used some 20 devices in different vehicles across their fleet. And we found that drivers, disappeared with the vehicles, with the devices, and that we just weren't getting the quality data that we wanted. So we changed track. We brainstormed, and we felt that we could deliver a better solution using AI with much less cost. So this is what we did. Okay. So yeah, so we spent some time trying to understand the data, what was critical, what was important, and how we could predict and estimate fuel spend. So we had two sources of data. We had, we had an app on the customer's smartphone, which is collecting GPS or location data, and then we also had historical data that we were using. The third source of data that we had was access to fuel card data from NinjaVan's fuel card system. So we were able to use machine learning to predict and understand what the expected fuel consumption was. And we looked at vehicle specifications, distance traveled, and whether or not they were actually on a job. So as I mentioned earlier, we have done this in partnership with Microsoft. We received a small grant from Microsoft. Thank you, Elena, and your team for that. And this enabled us to kick off a project. We used Azure ML for the backend for this to deploy the experiments and the solution for developing this outcome. One of the key things that we have is we have over 4 years of data collection from our core sort of fleet management product, where we've collected data about from vehicles like Mercedes, Daimler, Fuso across Southeast Asia. We're processing that data in real time and being able to get insights into whether or not what the expected fuel consumption should be, and that allows us to use the model to predict the expected costs. Now, it's not enough to be able to say, look, this person's siphoning off or stealing fuel, this person's using more fuel than they should be. What we're trying to do is actually reduce the cost of fuel overall. So this is a prototype that we developed for the fleet manager and for the driver to allow them to essentially gamify the user interface for the logistics driver. So if they go to one of those locations, they can spin a wheel, they can get a prize, so long as they drive safely and they use an expected amount of fuel. So
sorry, David, but time is over. We are strictly limited.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you.
Hi, this is Rebecca from Plug and Play. So my question is, what is your business model? Are you charging the driver, or how does that work?
No, we don't charge the driver. It's a B2B business model. We're a SaaS business. So the logistics provider pays us a monthly subscription for access to the app and the platform.
Okay, so who's your target clients? What kind of corporates, like Daimler or?
So OEMs, car makers, but also last mile logistics companies, dealerships. We already have some customers in place. Like NinjaVan is the main one, as I mentioned right now. So essentially, they have around several thousand of their drivers using the app at the moment, and they pay us for each driver.
So I'm not sure that I understood the value proposition here. Will you offer some new routes for logistic managers, or just predict the fuel costs for next month? What's the basic value proposition for that?
Well, the essential idea is to try and reduce the amount of fuel that they spend. So there is, as you rightly point out, there's a combination of things involved here. One is the route. So obviously, if you're stuck in traffic, you're going to be burning fuel regardless of how you're driving. So fuel, the route optimization is something we're looking at. But as I said, there are many startups who are doing, or established companies doing route optimization. So we're not likely to build something ourselves. We're going to focus on the AI fuel side of things. But that could be included as a later product module. Okay, thank you.
I got a question regarding the artificial intelligence component. Could you please explain to us what is the problem that you're trying to resolve with the machine learning algorithms? Exactly. What is the added value that the machine learning does have in your solution?
Sure, that's a great question. So a lot of companies, they have some minimal fuel data. So they'll know, for example, that the driver spent 5,000 Thai baht a month on fuel costs. Now, what they don't know is the actual amount of driving that the driver did. And what we find is that they don't have the basic process now is to have someone gets a shoebox full of receipts. They go through that and then they compare that against the actual distance traveled. And this is largely a manual process. So what we're trying to do is take that process, make it not so manual, and then also use data from the fuel card system to be able to detect anomalies in that in their claims.
Yeah. So given that, so in the current landscape of competitors, direct competitors and indirect competitors, what does give you the value for a solution like this is the amount of data. So how do you position yourself having an unfair advantage against those who could have a huge amount of data to realize something similar?
So, I mean, I guess one of the main advantages that we have is that we have a lot more data than these guys have, and we've been running a fleet management or telematics business for the last 4 years. So we know what the fuel consumption actually should be, whereas these guys are largely abstract in terms of the way that they're doing this. So we actually have the historical data. We know things like the impact of driving behavior. I myself have run a telematics program in Australia with over 300,000 connected vehicles. We have a strong background in this area and know, what the different aspects involved here. So, as vehicles can have many different components, and there's driving behavior, there's the diagnostics, and all of these come into play. And if you're just looking at this from a purely mathematical basis rather than with some business knowledge, it can be quite abstract, and you often get the wrong answer.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay.
So much. Thank you.
Thank
Time
you.
is over. So let's continue in chat. Kate?
Yes, next participant is from Singapore, Mobile AI.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, hi.
All right, thanks.
Can start.
It is a deep tech company providing AI-based navigation software for robots. Our technology helps robots to see and act the same way as humans do, while reducing sensor costs and increasing accuracy.
Audio is...
In this section, green dots represent the objects which were there previously, whilst blue dots represent new objects just like this person. From these dots, our system extracts a pattern and defines a shape for each object. Once combined, you can see the robot in action on the left, the camera map in the middle, and the LiDAR map on the right. Initially, the robot avoids the obstacle by moving to the left, but now, when there's a glass wall on the left, it moves to the right as there is no space. The robot stops if the destination is occupied. Here's an example of our customers who have used our solution for robots operating in the wafer industry, where the environment is dynamic and accuracy is paramount. We have worked with clients in the hospitality and service industry. In this video, the robot was assigned to go to different rooms to deliver items. The robot is able to dynamically avoid people even if they suddenly jump in front of its path. No matter how rough, dynamically changing, or narrow the path is, our navigation system can navigate any robot, big or small, to the destination. In this video, you can see a series of obstacles, and the robot generates a smooth path to avoid them. Our unique sensor fusion algorithm using computer vision and LiDAR allows us to identify different objects. It dynamically switches reliance between different sensors based on the surrounding environment.
So, good evening. I'm Abhishek from Movable AI. So, what you heard is the user stories from where our system has been deployed. So, we are providing software solutions to different hardware robotic companies. So, there are different technologies like LiDARs or line following available, but these are very limited and very expensive. And because we are using sensor fusion, we can get the shape and size of the human. We get the data from different customers, and our software can be put on any kind of robot. So our first product called Sirius. So when a robotic customer gets our software, they can convert their robot from manual to autonomous within a day. So it becomes like all the robots could become autonomous if they just purchase our software. And it just comes like it comes with a user interface. You can just plug and play. You can see how many robots you are operating. You click on the robot, you will take it inside, or how the map is operating. So because of this, our system can do a navigation, can do obstacle avoidance, can do person tracking. It's a multi-story mapping. And because of this, we are able to get a very good, we can put our software on a very different robots. It's quite accurate. And this opens up a huge market for us in cleaning, surveillance, service robots. So basically any robot going from point A to point B would need our software. And we have collaborated with a lot of different robotic companies who have used our software. Last year, our revenue was $500,000. And we charge a one-time licensing cost. We charge licensing cost per robot. So if you are making only 5 robots, you only pay for 5 licenses. If you are making 100, we charge per licensing. And these are some of our clients who we have worked with in a lot of different industries. So during COVID time also, they are using UV disinfectant robots. And we are providing solutions for that. So this is what we have. We have raised up till about 2 million SGD, and we are planning to raise another 5 to 7 million next year. And we are mainly expanding into Korea and China because 70% of the world robots are manufactured over there. We have a very big team of about 16 people, 17 now because one just joined today. And yeah, so most of them is software heavy. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great pitch. So, any questions, guys?
Hi, Abhishek.
Hi,
this is Subrata here. Great presentation. You have multiple application areas, right? I think few of them you have mentioned in your slide, but could you sort of walk us through what are the potential application areas that you are targeting currently?
We are robotic application agnostic, which means we don't target the application. What we do is we provide the navigation software to these robotic companies. So it's like, how does a robot go from point A to point B is what we provide. The application layer is being done by the robotic company themselves. So if there is a hardware robotic company, they say, we are going to make a cleaning robot. But how this cleaning robot is going to move is what we do. But the cleaning, the scrubber, and all those things will be designed by them. Similarly, say suppose if it's a pickup robot, like a robot in a warehouse where it's doing picking up. So how the robot goes from one shelf to another shelf to pick up those items is being taken care by us. How does it do the pickup is being taken care by the robotic company.
So what's your sort of competitive strategy? Because you are not facing competitors directly. So how do you kind of figure in your competitors in your whole game?
If you would notice, there are very less companies who are providing these kind of niche what we are doing. What happens is in our field is these robotic companies are trying to make this software themselves. But then if they do it, it will take them, because we are collecting our data. You do need data to know how the robot is operating. So these companies are, if they develop it by themselves, it was going to take them like say 1 year, 2 or say 15, 18 months to develop the software what we have. It's going to be a waste of time. While using a software, they can just, it's a plug and play. Like they get their hardware is ready. They just put a software, it's ready to work. So the competitive advantage over here for us is that it saves a lot of manpower or overhead cost for those companies.
Got it. And last question, what's your revenue, current revenue?
Our last year revenue was for around $500,000 SGD, Singapore dollars, which is about 350 USD. This year till date, we have done about We've been impacted by COVID because we are unable to go. So this year we have done 100, but next year we are on a course. So we had to change the way our licensing and software work, because earlier we would go to the customer side, do the installation, but now because we have to ship it over, there was a change in software. So we are targeting next year is about $1 million in revenue.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. We need to move on.
How much time does it take to integrate into a new robot? Because you said it takes less than a day or something. So
yes, so there are like actually 15 steps. So 15, when the customer buys the software, they get a manual. So if they follow those 15 steps, should be like a couple of hours, but normally they have to tune or calibrate the hardware robot according to the software. That might take a bit of while. So maybe a day, that's why I put it.
And do you also provide the mapping software? Because if you have to go from one place to another place,
yes,
they
correct.
have to. Okay.
Yeah, it comes with mapping, localization, mapping, path planning. So the user interface can do all those things. It can queue tasks for you. It can schedule tasks for you. It can even do mapping at multiple places. So you can save different maps. You can just load that particular map from the user interface. So it's not just they are just getting the navigation system. They're also getting a very good user interface where they can just control the robot from then and there. And good thing is this user interface can work from any devices. So it's not like it's through intranet. So which means if you're connected in the same network, you can access it over there. So you don't have to be on the robot to access this UI.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks. So let's move on. The next one is Open Refactory from Bangladesh.
Hi, I'm Munawar Hafiz, founder and CEO of Open Refactory. Let me bring my screen up. Can you see it?
Yes, you can start.
So early software had security problems, but no one cared about them. Then 70 years of software happened. Now, billions of dollars are spent on software security. Yet, every 1,000 lines of released code, harbor on average 15 unfixed bugs. Bugs are created faster than they're detected and fixed manually. Enter Open Refactory. What if there were services that not only detected safety, security, and compliance problems in software, but also fixed them automatically? Imagine the savings in time and money. This is Intelligent Code Repair, or ICR. The current SAM for bug detection market.
Sorry for interrupting, but you don't change the slide.
I did. I just did. Can you see that?
Oh, maybe make a full screen and try again, please.
It's full screen. It's not changing?
Because it's now the first slide. We fix code automatically.
Can I? That's odd. Let me actually redo or restart. That's why I turned the video off, because Zoom sometimes has a problem. But anyway.
Oh, now it's good.
Now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the current SAM in the bug detection market is $2 billion, but there is an underserved market that is 5 times larger than that, which constitutes mostly of small and medium-sized companies. And why are they not using the bug detection services? Because the existing bug detection services have a high overhead in terms of, because they only detect problems and do that with an embarrassing amount of false positives or noise. On the other hand, Open Refactory, we fix security problems. We do not, as well as detecting, and we do that with about 10 times fewer noise or false positives that have been established in benchmark tests. And at the same time, in order to serve the SME or the small and medium marketplace, we have we have launched our product so that it is available through the cloud. And the goal is that you can start the product and analyze the code in less than 10 minutes. So we have done validation on some on open source software and some of our early SME partners. Some of them have very large code bases. For example, one POC with C3.ai, which is a US company, we ran over 10 million lines of code. We have also established a partnership with Tata Consultancy Services, and through them, we are now engaging with large fintech clients. So why do we believe that we have something going on here? Three things. One, we have a team of experts heading the R&D, sales, and marketing efforts. Two, our motto, we fix code automatically, have been backed as a pioneering vision. We have a data science icon as one of our advisors, and have received over $1.5 million in awards from the National Science Foundation, Department of Energy, Google, and Microsoft. But the key thing of being a unicorn is how to get to that first $100 million revenue. And if you think of just the 6 million Android developers out there, if only 1% of them use our product for only 20 hours per year, we are talking about 1 million cloud machine hours, which translates to about $25 million revenue opportunity. That's where we want to be in the next 3 years, and then we want to leap forward beyond that. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions, guys?
I have one.
Yes, please.
Can the software fix semantic or logical errors as well, or just typing errors? What kind of bugs?
So it does. So right now we have a solution, one for Java and one for C, and they look into specific problems in each of these languages, and they're different or language specific. They do fix various kinds of logical bugs, as well as simple typing bugs, as you understand. But we are a deep tech company, and the deep analysis stack that we have, it allows us to go like look into logical bugs and fix them. That's one of our targets.
Thanks.
So today, what kind of bugs does it fix? I didn't understand that.
So for example, in Java, our Java solution, it fixes the most important security problems in Java that the Java developers face today, which are examples would be null pointer dereference, SQL injection, cross-site script, path manipulation, various kinds of injection attacks that lead to data stealing. Also, various kinds of concurrency bugs that would lead to stalling software. One of our target market is in the Android market, where like your software getting hanged and not proceeding is a big problem. That's what we're solving. I mean, various kinds of bugs.
So you basically like classified different kinds of bugs and
different categories of fixes.
So if I understand correctly, you have analyzed what is the kind of mistakes developers usually do, identify them, and then and actually like how to fix it, right? That's how.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So we are driven by the top bugs or top bug categories as identified by various standard research, and we basically build solutions in order to detect and fix those problems with very low cost.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
The planned break-even is in 3 years, as your page states. Why it should take so long, especially if you're already tapping into, large enterprise customers?
So right now our solution is based on the cloud. So one of the I've also identified some of the risks, and one of the risks would be that because this market is underserved right now, and we are getting into this, even if you're bringing it, will it sell? So that's something that we are exploring in the next 1 year. And then we also right now is supporting Java, but in future we want to support the top 3 languages that are the most emerging languages, namely Java, Python, and JavaScript. So being those like a lot of R&D costs would be incurred as we are building these solutions, because these are very deep tech solutions.
Thank you so much. Any questions else?
Can I ask a question on the Microsoft and Google side? When you say you're supported by Microsoft and Google, is that just simply cloud credits, or are you more actively supported by those guys?
No, I was in the academia before. I was an assistant professor at Auburn University in USA, and I've received awards from Microsoft earlier, also the Google Faculty Research Scholarship, and also awards like over $1.5 million. Most of them, like Google and Microsoft in total was about like 100K. But the other awards came from like National Science Foundation and Department of Energy.
And one last question. The automotive industry is rife with 30% of software faults and product recalls. Have you ever considered focusing on a B2B market as opposed to a B2C market in the first instance?
We are, so the automotive market, so most of the solutions there are basically drivers that are written in C. And we also have a C solution that is available right now. It's just that what we have found out is that our C solution, because of the complexity of the build system of C, it requires some setup overhead. And that's why it was like for a small company like us getting to a POC with a large company, it gets complicated because we have to access their code for about like 2 to 3 days in order to set our thing up. And so that's why we pivoted last year and went into a technology which is completely low touch. So, and our goal is, so there's a demo video on in the pitch that you can also see. We are launching on Amazon next week, actually. And the goal would be that you basically buy an EC2 machine and start analysis within the first 10 minutes. So that's as well. So minimizing the barrier to entry, that was one of our lead goals, and that's what we have achieved in the last 1 year of development. But yeah, we have a C technology that we can also demonstrate if there are client interest.
Thank you very much. We need to finish this.
Hey guys, this is Calendar from AI Ventures. What's your potential exit plans? Sorry.
So most of the so the first company in this particular space, let me actually, I thought I was done, but yeah, that I like the interest. So the first company in this space, a bug detection company, actually started in 1991. This was called Purify. This was started by Reed Hastings, who later formed Netflix. So, and the bug detection companies, they have been mostly followed the same track. They have spawned from academic research or industry research, and then exited about 5 to 8 years. That's probably the same. We'll probably take the same road, and yeah, that's basically the plan.
Thank you, thank you. So the next one is Video Translator AI from Australia.
Hi, should I share my screen?
Sure.
I'm just jumping into full screen mode. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Tat Banerjee, and I run videotranslator.ai. As the name suggests, we use AI to translate videos. It's, in a sense, an app that gives you real-time AI transcription, translation, and dubbing in 60 languages and 150 dialects. The opportunity is fairly straightforward. A lot of people are watching TV online. The reason I have this slide is I'd like to emphasize that there are more mobile phones than there are TVs, so the growth is pretty substantial. What's the challenge? The challenge is videos. Search engines can't tell what's in videos, and therefore people don't understand what's in videos. This is a very visceral example of what happens when people can't access video because it's in, you don't have the words. How does it work? It's a simple app. You log in, you upload a video, a speech-to-text AI gives you the captions, text-to-text AI translates, and the text-to-speech AI speaks it out. Where are the wins? The wins are pretty straightforward. One is you can bake your captions into the thing. This is really good in social media, especially where videos autoplay muted. And the other aspect is we can also translate this. What I'd like to emphasize here is essentially this, and there's one takeaway from this pitch. It's that search engines don't understand what's in video. The only way search engines understand what's in video is when you have the captions. When you have the captions in multiple languages, your content can be searched in those languages. That's the core value proposition of what we do. We use a mix of AI providers. So at the moment, we're using 2 Microsoft services, one Google, we're experimenting with IBM, and Alexa's Amazon's products. We think in the future, you're going to have contextualized AIs, and the money is going to be in being able to provide all of these in a convenient way to clients. Pricing is simple, 15 cents per minute for AI usage. These are the clients we work with at the moment. I can put a link into the chat that gives you examples of video where we translate the content and then you can hear what an AI sounds like in a video that's been translated. Highly recommend you have a look at that. Fairly straightforward pricing. The majority of our clients at the moment where we don't do the consultancy kind of work is online clients. They come in, they sign up. They're mostly content creators and marketers. This is our tech stack. And that was pretty much all I had on this particular pitch. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, please, you can continue.
Yeah, so that was pretty much all I had in terms of what the pitch was going to be about. I tried to avoid some of the more exciting pieces. Did you guys have any questions around that?
So that this is Subrata here. Wanted to know if there were no subtitles, would it be still useful?
It would be useful primarily because you could have the voice, so the AI dubbing, the synthetic dub, plus we do it in languages and dialects, right? So there's a pretty large win for a literacy point of view. So schools use it in terms of teaching people how to read. And there's also the accessibility. So there's a number of different use cases depending on what you're trying to do. I should point out that the big limiter, so to speak, is the underlying information complexity. So obviously it takes a lot more if you're translating legal, medical, things like that. The majority of our current use cases are simpler than just, marketing terms, making content creators reach a much wider audience. So 2-3 languages, say Indian languages, you might go Hindi, Bangla, Tamil, depending on what you're trying to do, that kind of thing.
Tell us about your traction, please.
Sorry, pardon me?
Tell us about your traction.
So traction's been interesting. We went live August last year, picked up a couple of enterprise clients. That kind of died with COVID. Since that, it's primarily been organic SEO and that's it. So we get something like 70 to 80 signups organically per week for the free trial. And something like 5 to 10% of this convert to some extent. We think the big problem is that primarily our app is desktop. We get a surprising number of people who want to use mobile, and it just wasn't a scenario we considered because we thought, translation work, it's people working on desktops. So we think there's a lot of underserved segments of the market where, friends and family are trying to send information to their colleagues, and no one's really hitting that specific market. But yeah, it's primarily about search because unless you have the words in the different languages, someone looking they can't use the words they know to search for your value proposition. And given a globalized world, clients are trying to reach people all over. So yeah.
Do you have revenues?
We do actually. So this is, it's still in many ways a side gig for me. So hilariously, we're actually profitable. We make up a couple of $100 every week and it's increasing pretty quickly. But it's mostly content creators. It comes down to what people want as ROI. So if you want a long tail on your ROI, you tend to put a lot more effort. So it works for medical things that don't change very often, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to win the search battle in the different languages.
Thank you.
What's the expected market size? Because I'm not very familiar with the trends, but it does sound like a very niche product and niche market. What's your estimates on the market size?
So we think it's primarily going to be there's two kinds of clients we have at the moment, right? The first is exporters, so people who want to, and I'll put in a link in the chat just as soon as it's done. It was this company that was selling food technology into China and into Saudi Arabia. So you're doing enterprise level food. One of the things that they found was they turned all their help videos into the language of that country with the AI. And I don't know that it was the technical solution. It was more the fact that this company was saying, we understand your staff who are going to use our technology speaks Arabic or speaks Mandarin, and this is how we're going to support them, right? So there's that one aspect of exporters, and then there's the other aspect of health and education type people. These are very different motivations, right? But yeah, like I think there's a lot more markets than it's a scaling problem, right? So here in Sydney, I'll give you the example we use. We've got about 15, 20 major languages that are spoken within immigrant populations. And that's an impossible problem if you're trying to hire nurses and doctors who speak every language, right? Like that just doesn't work. So what you do is you create these videos, and that's where we worked with New South Wales Health and a couple other clients like that. We empowered the end client to basically go away and do research on their own. Unless you speak, read, write, think in English, the majority of the internet isn't accessible to you. With this kind of tool, you empower people to basically look up the words they know about the health problem they have, because what they found was doctors were spending most of the time just explaining stuff to patients who didn't understand. So it's very specific niches in that sense, but my suspicion is the markets are actually quite big, just in those two.
Sorry, I will just take a little time. That's the important question. You said that there is like medical videos and etc. But in this case, you need a proofreading, because otherwise, if you just do the automatic translation of, let's say, nurses, doctors talking about health, you have to be sure that these translations are accurate, because otherwise they may be even harmful.
100%. So what ends up happening is you do two sets, actually. The first one is you do post-editing of the transcript, and the second one is you do post-editing of the translation. We give something like a 3x win on that process, but the bigger win is once you put the asset up, because, a lot of medical advice doesn't change very much. So it's you go through the whole process, do it for a bunch of different languages, put all that up on the web. But because you now have the captions in there in different languages, it's searchable by a much larger community. So your win is in terms of engagement. So the effort is upfront. It's what comes down to is what is the expected ROI of your video, right? And that kind of depends on the channel you're sending out. So YouTube 10-minute videos have like the best long-term lifetime value. With TikTok, it's 30 seconds, right? With LinkedIn, it's 45 seconds. So it very much depends on what you're trying to do. But if you have good content and you expect the ROI in search to give you a return in, it's not 1 week and that's it. It's months, weeks, days, long periods of time, especially government services, emergency services, folks like that. We think they're going to be the target market. Part of, with the conversations that I have, most large enterprises understand they need to go big into video, and they're doing that. But they're sort of where digital media people were 10 years ago, right? You generally still give your marketing video shop the work. Right now, they're in the process of internalizing video people, and that's what we think will play in the medium term for guys like us.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's continue.
Thank you, Ted. The next one is Lyra Robotics from Australia.
Hey, good day.
Hi.
Can you see and hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Wonderful.
Good luck.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Yuxi Leitner. I'm the co-founder and managing director of Lyra Robotics. We are a deep tech startup based here in Brisbane, Australia. And we're really focusing on developing and deploying embodied AI agents. For us, that's smart picking and packing robots that can work in quite a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different application areas. So one of the big challenges that's happening right now, and this is probably going to be a challenge for the next couple of years, is how do we create secure, safe, and reliable supply chains? Just in the last couple of years, the pressure has been increasing on supply chains on various aspects. So just sales 7%, and these numbers are before COVID. So we've seen an increased surge even since then. Australia is also focused on horticulture exports, with increasingly in the Southeast Asian market up to like 30% of year-to-year growth. But on the flip side, a lot of that is transient labor. So more than 50% in most application areas is people that are either coming in as backpackers or as part-time workers. And specifically in the next 6 months, due to COVID, 26,000 positions will be unfilled in the food supply chain. So that's really a case for picking and packing robotic systems that can deal with that. And we've seen that over the last couple of years. There's been a growth in advanced robotic systems of more than 20%, both in the agriculture, but also in the e-commerce space, where there's another interesting growth market in the supply chains. And there's an increasing need for no contact packing. So a lot of people are interested in avoiding people in packing sheds, in warehouses, because that's places where they would stand very close to each other, but also places where transmissions of virus can happen, especially in the food supply chain. So that's something that we are trying to tackle with our robotic systems. And at Lyra, we built the world's first fresh produce pattern packing robotic system. What that means, it's a robotic system that can pick up any fruit, any vegetable, can put them into any pattern. Here on the right, you can see avocados stacked into a crate, and it can do that at any time. So we are doing this through something that we call Lyra Machine Intelligence. And you can see some of the videos of our latest deployments in mangoes and avocados here on the right as well. So Lyra Machine Intelligence is really our core AI system that can be run on lots of different robotic systems, allowed the smart placement and detection of of the items that a robot needs to pick up, in this case, fresh produce, and it continuously improves, so it can continuously adapt. So this is how we see Lyra Machine Intelligence. It's the brain, the eye, and the hand for any robotic system. Our stack is very agnostic to the actual robotic system underneath it. So Lyra Machine Intelligence makes every robotic system able to pick a wide range of items. So before, I think in the presentation, people were talking about going from A to B with a robotic system. Lyra Machine Intelligence really helps you to get the robot, once it is at B, to do something useful. And so that's a tight integration. More than a decade of our own research has been going into both the machine learning and the computer vision aspect, and that's tightly coupled with the grasping aspect. As you can see on the bottom there, this has been applied to 3 different robotic systems. We picked chilies, avocados, mangoes, but it's also been applied in warehousing and order fulfillment scenarios. And we've proven this technology. So we are a spin out of the Australian Centre for Robotic Vision, where we won the Amazon Robotics Challenge, which some people call the Robot Olympics, but we scored more than 70% better than a second place team. And the second place team was very costly compared to our solutions. And we competed against people on the bottom there, and it got us a bit of media, which was also very nice. But since then, we spun out and we created these robotic systems that actually have a benefit to our end users. And our end users are really interested right now to reduce the labor requirements to improve the throughput. And that, as I said, was happening before COVID, but it's definitely, we've seen a massive surge in the last couple of months of our interest in our technologies and the deployment of our technologies. Our systems are plug and play. It takes us less than 45 minutes to actually deploy our own robots between like arriving with the ute and unpacking the robot and actually starting packing avocados at our last trial. We can quickly change over because our Lyra Machine Intelligence is smart enough to be able to detect a lot of different variants of items. So it took us 10 minutes to swap from avocados to mangoes to lemons. We picked chilies, passion fruits, and so forth. And because of that, we actually have a pay-as-you-go option, which is the robots as a service model, which currently is less used because it's prohibitive because of the hardware costs. But because of our system, we can actually bring this down and provide services and savings from day one to our customers in both the food and the e-commerce supply chain, which is a very large and growing market. Packing alone, fresh produce packing alone in Australia is a $250 million a year market. And we're pretty certain that we can have a significant share of this market because this is underserved by our competition in the next couple of years. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to us. We're currently in the seed round, and I'm happy to take some questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great pitch. Any questions, guys?
Looks like a great product. Can you talk about the revenues?
Sure. So we are early. We are just spun out about 13 months from the Australian Centre for Robotic Vision. We're currently in a paid trial phase. This is our go-to-market strategy where we are trialing to showcase the technology. So we have initial smaller revenues. So paid trials are between $20,000 per deployment. We have our first commercial revenue, especially on the robots as a service model, planned for the next 8 months.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about your competitors or potential competitors. And also a second question will be, can you tell us a little bit about your team?
Sure. I'll start with the second one because it feeds into the first one. Our team is a lot of engineers and specifically robotic vision and robotic grasping engineers. So we are based here in Brisbane, where there's actually a significantly large number of robotics experts. So there's about 200 or so roboticists just in Brisbane. And I was a leader at the Australian Centre for Robotic Vision, as I mentioned before, specifically leading the robotic manipulation lab. So we've taken a lot of the PhD students from there. And so that's also a significant advantage in terms of competition. So in robotics, there's actually probably maybe 500 roboticists in the world that actually can work in robotic vision and grasping. And that's really a high estimate. It's probably even a lower number. And as I said, there's probably between 25 and 50 of those people just here in Brisbane. So that's a significant advantage of the technology that we developed over the last decade. But apart from that, there's also a market question, and that's why we have looked at fresh produce. There's a lot of competition in the e-commerce sector, and with a lot, I mean, there's probably between 10 and 12 startups that are trying to achieve something very similar, a multi-billion-dollar market. But in the fresh produce market, there's very, very little competition. There's a few automated solutions where you spend like $1 million to redesign your whole packing shed, and really coming in a quite different niche where we can quite literally slip in the robot that is replacing a human packer there.
Thank you.
I got a question regarding the customer acquisition time, and what is the sales strategy that you adopt to have those clients? Because the question is related to the fact that I guess that you would agree that the industry may be difficult to attack, so it may take a while to.
Interestingly, our experience is slightly different in the food and agriculture sector, and that's probably because of the ongoing shortage of labor with a high pressure point. People are very actively trying to get us into the sites. So we have more people interested in buying our robotic systems than we currently have time and money to build those robotic systems, which is a good problem to have. But yes, there's a certain lag. It takes some time, especially if you are talking about capital expenditure. And that's why we also are offering the robots as a service model where people can, for basically a season, get the robot. And, you know, most of our trial deployments, people said, cool, come back with 5 robots, come back with 10 robots in the next season. So that's sort of our strategy to get and show people that this works. Because especially in the agriculture sector, we have in the past seen companies or farmers being burnt by companies that said he could deliver. And after a significant capital investment, the solution was actually not good at all.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rico Pang. You have 2 questions. Question number 1, what is your projection revenues in the next 6 months to 1 year? And question number 2, is this robot mechanism duplicable to other markets?
I'll start with the second one again. Yes, it's totally applicable to lots of different markets. So we have a trial coming up for e-commerce order fulfillment. We are talking to companies and waste management, and we have a partnership with which is called the Advanced Robotics Manufacturing Hub here in Brisbane, in Australia. So we are talking to SMEs to, I guess, more production systems. So the underlying technology, the tech stack that we have, Lyra machine intelligence, is broadly applicable to lots of different tasks. The first question was predictive revenue. So we have currently a prediction of about like $50,000 Australian for the next 6 months, and that's mainly coming from trials. But in the next 12 months, we predict between $300,000 and $400,000, partly in deployment of these robotic systems, but also in ongoing projects with industry partners.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's continue in chat. And Kate?
The last but not least, QuickReply.ai from India. Finish our pitch session today. Are you ready?
Yeah, Kate, just a minute. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Himanshu, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of QuickReply.ai. So what we're doing, trying to do is to build a plug-and-play conversational commerce solution for the online stores. So we want to help, the online transition for the retail stores so that they can provide an exceptional customer service to their customers. So we broadly look at the e-commerce market. At one side, you would find the big marketplaces like Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, and at the other side, there are brands, individual brands running their own online stores. Most of them are on like Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce kind of platforms. Now, if you look at, I took this data from one of the Adobe's report about e-commerce penetration pre-COVID and post-COVID. So if you see that, in the next decade, around 15% more penetration is projected. And one of the IBM's report says that the shift from physical store to the digital store, it has accelerated by around 5 years. So a lot of online physical stores are going to go online, this year and coming years, and it's going to stay there. Now, just going online, putting up your products won't make you win. You would need a better customer experience because a lot of customers are used to the kind of customer service they get from Amazon, Alibaba, or eBay. They normally compare their e-commerce experience with the online stores to these big boys. Now, meeting this rising customer expectation is normally hard. People would reach out to these brands on different channels. They would mostly ping them on WhatsApp, their Facebook pages, Instagram handles, and managing everything with small teams normally results into a delayed response, which results into a dissatisfied customer and lost revenue. So if we look at the current solutions, most of these stores would either hire a bigger team, to probably handle customers 24/7, or they would use the tools available in the market, which are there, solve their problem to a certain extent, but they normally have a very limited or superficial integrations with the e-commerce tools. So what we're trying to do is to create an omni-channel customer engagement platform, which comes with pre-trained and deeply integrated digital assistants. I'll explain how it works. Suppose you have an online store and you take Quick Reply, you just plug it in and it starts syncing your SKUs, your inventory, your customers, orders, coupons, everything. And it's always in a real-time sync with your online store. Now we take the store data and we have curated, AI training data pertaining to e-commerce stores. Using that, we instantly generate, around 40 plus e-commerce ready bots who are fully aware of the store's information and can, engage, sell and serve the customers of online stores in minutes. So the entire process of setup is in minutes, and then it's in a real-time sync. So what it does with those e-commerce ready bots, so we have observed that all the e-commerce stores normally have around 70% of common queries, which are like order status, order modifications. People before purchasing would want to know if the delivery is possible to a particular PIN code, if a certain kind of payment mode is accepted. Now all these queries are repetitive and could be automated using AI. So this is the part where the inbound queries are coming. At the same time, there are very common scenarios which are outbound, like recovering the abandoned carts, intimating them about their products which are coming back into stock or going out of stock. Now, with more and more people reaching out to brands on Messenger or WhatsApp, this communication of WhatsApp and Messenger has to be automated. Now we take these use cases and quickly enable a brand to go online. Now, yes, obviously, such common use cases would only cater to 70% of the cases. The rest 30%, we let them to do a human transition where the queries of the customers are passed to a human agent, and the human agents get such queries in a one inbox kind of a thing. So it's a single inbox for your multiple channels, your website chat, Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, email, SMS, etc. At the same time, our AI smartly fetches the customer information from their online store. Take an example of Shopify store. It would fetch the entire user's profile about what orders the user has placed and would let them do actions from here itself. So to achieve this, what we are trying to do is we are trying to do deeper integration with e-commerce stacks. Like every country has different payment gateways. So we have right now done a lot of payment integrations for the Indian market, for the US market. They have a lot of logistic partners. They are very regional. So all these integrations normally in a generic tool are not available. So we are building these to enable our online merchants to provide an exceptional customer service to their end users.
Thank you very much. Time is already over.
Okay. All right, I'll stop.
Thank you. Who has a question?
So Himanshu, this is Subrata here. So have you sort of piloted it?
Yes. So in 2018, we started with a conversational AI platform. We were sector agnostic. And what we realized was to transition anyone from to a conversational AI platform, you have to either help them build chatbot solution deeply integrated to their tools, business tools which they are using. Now we were doing it on and off for different industries, and every time it was a longer cycle. But with e-commerce, we started finding a pattern where 70–80% of the entire thing which we did for one client was replicable. And with the pandemic, we were hit a bit because we had around 40% exposure to travel sector. Those vendors just stopped renewing their subscriptions, and e-commerce started booming. So we saw a scale here, we saw a need, and that's why we pivoted. So right now the platform is being revamped to on our base platform to have e-commerce ready integrations and training, AI training.
So what's your sort of barrier to entry? Why can't biggies like Reliance, come and sort of, take away the market from you?
So Reliance can definitely come, but Reliance, as of now, I see they are building their own e-commerce stores. So like they are focusing on GeoMart, right? What we are focusing is on providing these small and medium enterprises, some individual D2C brands who are trying to do an online business and trying to retain their customers through their digital marketing channels. Like they would go to Amazon and Geo Store probably to let customers discover their product, but then they have their own digital marketing channels or cycles to retain them. So there we let them do that proactive engagement and a proactive customer service so that their customers stick to them without going to other competitors.
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks,
Oh, I say a huge growth problem actually here. You've said that basically for e-commerce to get all this all this experience, they basically need to upload all the vital data to your platform. Give up all the SKUs, all the customer data, a lot of sensible data. So that basically lead to the fact that a lot of big commercial companies won't be using it simply because it means parting with their commercial data. How you want to tackle this problem, because it basically left you only with smaller enterprises?
So right now we are targeting to the smaller and medium enterprises, basically the companies which are running their online business on Shopify. So I'll address your question in two formats, like, uploading, syncing and everything is probably won't be their headache. We will have connectors like Shopify connectors, Magento connectors, and then WooCommerce. And regarding the problem of syncing the data and retaining that entire information here, so it looks like from the diagram that we are actually pulling in the data and saving it on our end. We're actually not doing it. We are just having a ready connectors and doing the AI training. Like suppose I have to train the AI to help any user to search for a product. So I would need their SKU's name to train that into an AI engine, but that's about it. Then I would have a product ID, which I can anyways fetch the data from their systems. So it's a ready connector which lets our chatbots to train, but then if they are into real-time sync. If I go back to my slide.
Thank you so much. Any questions else? Hello.
If nobody has a question.
Then we have questions, right? For the judges. Who is the winner today, right? Thank you so much. Startup speeches were great. Like I love this AI unicorn battles because like I feel like a child at the toy store. I like all the startups because they make such amazing things. So judges, I don't envy you. You have a difficult task to grade startups from 1 to 5 and to help us to figure out who is the best one today. He will present Asia and Australia at the Unicorn Cup, which is on November 20th. Remember, we are waiting for every one of you. And besides that, Alexander, can you tell us what we have for the winner?
And usually for the winner, additionally, we invite the startup to come to our VC house, where VCs can talk with the startup much more, approximately 1 hour, and we can understand it more. So you're welcome. And if you are VC and you are still not a part of our VC house, you are welcome as well, because there we have 2 different rooms. Deal flow room, where we can analyze winners of our unicorn battles, and deal exchange room, where you can bring the deal and share it with other VCs, or other VC can bring deal and you can participate and follow them in the round. So please just tell us that you want to be with us. Thank you very much, Anna.
You're welcome. And also, we have a really difficult task besides grading startups. To our judges today, expert board, please look at our poll. We are doing different polls in different parts of the world, and thus making a big picture of what is happening in the startups and VC industry. Please help us to indicate what industries besides health tech, fintech, and AI, according to your personal view, will be blooming in next season, next year, whatever. Yeah. You can choose anyone, or you can choose all of them. Just make your choice and push submit. And we will talk about it some more during our networking session. We have some really interesting topics there. Okay, and girls already about to close the vote. So you know who the winner is, right?
Yeah, we know exactly.
Okay, tell us about it.
So guys, all pitches was really great, but now we will announce 3 best startups today. So 3rd place goes to Monday.
Yoo-hoo!
Please, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Our silver winner. Yes, please.
Yeah, we're here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations. So our silver winner today is Mobile AI. Sorry.
Wonderful.
Mobile AI.
Close to you.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
And the best AI startup today is in Asia.
Stop. We need to see the screen. Please share the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
you can
it's Lyra Robotics.
Oh, wonderful.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, that is really great. Get ready for the Unicorn Cup finals. Our wonderful event managers will tell you about this later on. Congratulations to all the startups. Good job, Kate and Lena. Thank you so much. And right now, let's move to our networking part. And can we have the poll results? Oh, guys, you make it so difficult to me. I thought it would be much easier. So we have slightly ahead robotics, then goes e-commerce and IoT. Well, that's okay. That's interesting results to talk it over. And I have been reading recently the reports that are made by the couple of the famous investment companies, and they were telling that this year investments in the startups about to rise to $98 billion, and this will be the biggest number after the year 2000. In 2000, everybody was investing into startups, and this year will even outperform the year 2000. And I would like to ask you, our wonderful expert board, why is this happening? People just suddenly started believing startups more than they did like a year before, or they had more opportunities maybe to visit lots of events online like Unicorn Battles and get to know more startups, or they finally had an opportunity not to rush all the way around the world and just go over many deals that they were postponing. Why is this happening? What do you think? Do you have like your personal opinion towards that?
Yeah, I can say something, Anna. So, I mean, this is a unique time. Think about where we are. We've got a massive amounts of data. There's approximately 33 zettabytes of data. So if you stacked it, DVDs stacked up, it will reach the moon 23 times back and forth. So there's an incredible amount of data. It's grown at 62% per year. We're finally at the realm of AI. We're at, unsupervised AI, ladder networks, variational autoencoders, that kind of thing. And at the same time, 5G. So we've now got a capability to be able to have incredible performance wherever we are. So imagine the opportunities that opens up for robotics and Internet of Things. At the same time, at the same time, I just wrote an article on quantum computing, AI and quantum computing in Forbes last week. That's another area. Imagine a system that's 100 million times faster than what we have. So I believe part of the reason that we are is because we're inundated with data, and there's incredible startups like we've seen today that can solve the problem, right? We've got a state of infobesity, and the person that takes that information out and gives us some very intelligent direction is going to win.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. But does this amount of information help to make the decisions when you invest, or they just make it harder because you get like so many wonderful startups, you get so many news, you get so much information coming to you?
Well, it's kind of nice. It's like going to the store, right? So if you have a lot of shoes in the store, isn't it nice to have a wider selection so you can choose what you really want?
Oh, I don't know. No, for me, no. It always makes me think like, yes, it makes it harder. So yes, but
we have now, I mean, this is an incredible time where with this digital transformation taking place and COVID and that lasting maybe another 2 years, we've got incredible opportunity that our society has really never had before to be able to continue to live virtually. And so it's democratized opportunities around the world. I wrote an article in Forbes about that. Nikola Tesla's dream comes true. This is where we are. Think about it. Well, you know, you're in Ukraine. Here I am right now. I can't get back to California. I'm in Palm Beach in Florida. I mean, people from all over the world coming together to be able to change. It's unprecedented.
Yeah, and I'm glad being part of it. Suri, what do you think? How do you see it from the India's perspective of view?
Yeah, see, it has never been easy to select startups, right, to invest. So in our case, like we have invested in 1.7% of the startups we engaged with. Okay. So about 5,000 startups in the last 4.5 years. We have invested in 15. So it was already harder. It's becoming more harder now. That's what I would
maybe
say.
more people are like, I don't know, starting their startups. Maybe
Yes,
people.
yes. See, the thing is, see, I did my first startup in '99. Okay, so there was no ecosystem, right? Like in India, there was no ecosystem for startups, but it has changed a lot now, right? There are investors, there are mentors, there are accelerators. The corporates are helping them. So it's the best time to actually do a startup. That's what I would say.
Absolutely, Jalud. What do you think? Is Plug and Play struggling to figure out which startups to invest in, or you are happy that there are so many startups? Do you experience the same thing? Like many more startups are applying to you, you have like a wider choice, or how do you say it?
Yeah, I would say that I think there's still quite a number of startups that we see as deal flows. Obviously, this I guess the affected industries will be lesser, but on the contrary as well, I guess on the other industries that are booming, we see a lot of deal flows, a lot of funding news. So in crisis, I guess startups. Some really good startups actually born out of the crisis. So we shouldn't see this as like as a economic downturn where there won't be startups coming up. I still say that there's still a lot of startups.
Thank you. Who would like to pitch in, or do you want me to point one of you?
This is really a great time
Eugene,
for investors. You know, I mean, I think we're like what Gary was saying. You know, we're you're at a shoe store and there's lots of shoes to choose, right? We're like kids in a candy store, and there are a lot of creative startups and very interesting business ideas. But it does also make our job very difficult as investors. And you know, I mean, obviously you like to try every candy that's available in the store. But again, I mean, I think it's good time. I think it's really unprecedented, like what everyone else is saying. It's unprecedented because there's never a time like that in the past that we have lived in before, that we're seeing all these new ways of doing things and new requirements and all that. And yeah, the creativity that you see that we've been seeing in all the startups is really amazing.
But will ever AI will help making the decision, like in investment decision or something like that? Will we ever rely on AI decision made?
I think there's $1 million question that probably everyone's asking, and also probably a lot of people are worried about. But I personally, this is my personal view, is that artificial intelligence is not replacing humans, but it's really augmenting human. It's really augmenting a lot of what we do, and things that we have to do either manually or takes a long time. But it's just helping human make better decisions.
Okay, but it will never replace, right?
Personally, I don't think so.
Yeah, Lisa, how do you see it?
I was just going to say, there's a reason why we automate things, right? We want to get rid of those high volume, always the same tasks. And it's those low value, always different tasks where humans can add creativity, where we add the most value. So we see AI as a huge potential for GDP growth and productivity. And on the same side, we also have to consider the downsides of the way in which we build our AI models. bioethics and the ethical considerations that go into the development of those black boxes. And that's a conversation we all need to have. And we need to ensure that all generations and all domains of industry knowledge are included in that conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Sergey, do you have
your
opinion?
Wanted to add that what we've seen right now is, and we're happy about it. I mean, I think the valuations of the startups become more realistic now. So the thing is, and I think we've discussed this with Gary on the latest panel, that actually you don't need all your stuff right now based in Silicon Valley or in other high cost place. So I think that influenced that the valuations of the startups became more realistic. We've seen it also in Southeast Asia, where unfortunately it was commonplace where many startup founders just valuated their startups by saying that, oh, we're just like some company from Silicon Valley, so we want to be evaluated the same. So we think that yes, there is never a bad time to invest in startups. So I'd say that we don't see that much of a spike in terms of funding. I think a lot of analytics just add to this, for example, SPAC money or other money that adds to these startup investments. But what we believe in, that the interest is still there, it's high, and it's actually not just Silicon Valley, Singapore, and Hong Kong centered. It became more and more global. So, and that's what we're happy about it.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Thank you for sharing that with us, because we are doing our battles. Last season it was 86 countries of the world. Right now it's 125 countries of the world that we go through and get the best startups that you see pitching live. Of course, you cannot see all of them. You get to see only the best ones according to our criteria, right? But we see lots of activity rising after the battles. So we get the feedback from our judges, or guys, I interacted with this and this startup I found at the battle. We get the feedback from the startup. Thank you so much. I had been approached by this and this person. And from month to month, the activity is rising. So I see how I explained personally that when we all went on the lockdown, everybody was waiting for the life come back to normal, that we have our business processes back. But right now, everybody is satisfied the way it is. We are cutting our costs like on logistics, and we still can interact. Right? To everybody is familiar with Zoom or other interactive platforms, and people get used to it. So we will probably stay in this to some extent when everything will be back, but it gives an opportunity. Look, right now we have people from Europe, from United States, from all over Asia right now in one business space. This is miraculous. This is really good. And we are not stopping. We are moving to other directions. This Thursday, we're going to have MENA and Africa region exploring health tech, if I'm not mistaken. Can you share the slide, please? And everybody is welcome to join us for all our upcoming unicorn battles. We still have 4 more to go. Girls, can you share the final slide, please, with the upcoming battles? And please be sure to register for our Unicorn Cup that's happening on November 20th. Please save a date in your calendar. And we will be having also AI battle in South America, which also should be interesting, and health tech battle in North America. And then the finals. Kate, can you share a slide, please?
Just a moment. I meshed my windows. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us for this battle. Thank you, girls. It was a great battle. Thank you, startups. Please make sure contact our wonderful event managers. They will tell you more how to proceed to the Unicorn Cup. Thank you everyone for coming. It was a great event, as always. Always glad to see you and see you somewhere all over the world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you
Kate.
so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.